Unity Earth TV, Unity Earth TV, Unity Earth, oh come on home. Unity Earth TV, Unity Earth TV, Unity Earth, we're coming home.
Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the evening plenary on day 2 of World Unity Week, number 5, 2024. And we are together. We are dancing the dream. It's been an amazing beginning. We had an extraordinary opening day yesterday. And day 2 has just been continuing those wonderful co-creative energies. Day 2 of the 99 Days of Peace Through Unity, leading all the way up through to the super convergences happening in September around the equinox. This year, it's very exciting. I'm very excited about today's plenary discussion and panel. It's an amazing collection of women leaders from around the world. Together She Rises, and Aurora and Janet Grace are the hosts and the co-creators of this. So let me introduce Aurora and Janet Grace and then hand it over. So Aurora and Janet Grace, both global leadership and empowerment coaches, have come together from across the globe to combine genius and serve the rising of feminine intelligence and leadership. They call on women leaders to unite, understanding that these women also are not only continuing their own healing, yet are also refining their calling at this potent time in history. Aurora and Grace understand the power of the oracular and know the authentic new conversations are required now to create a new world. Their series of conversations called Together We Rise aim to unite, connect, and inspire women leaders across the globe to be nourished and to co-create incredible projects to support humanity's rising. Aurora and Grace are also founders of She Rises Travel, a transformative travel organization supporting women leaders navigating change, knowing that as we walk sacred lands together across the globe, an amplification of insight and possibility become available to us individually and collectively. So this incredible panel, Together We Rise, Uniting Women's Leaders. Over to you, Aurora and Grace.
Oh, a huge thank you, Ben, to all of the World Unity Week team and to the incredible women leaders who are here in this room and are also leaning in. It is an absolute pleasure to be here to really share Together We Rise, an opportunity to bring our voices and our hearts together, and most importantly, to honor the women who've led the way, the women who continue to lead the way, and everything that it takes to show up. My name is Aurora Pagonis, as Ben has shared. I'm tuning in from a little coastal town, Australia, called Bangalore, near Byron Bay. And tonight's event is really dedicated to the women who have actually shared and continued their influence and their leadership to not only uplift themselves and all of life, to restore Mother Earth, and to cultivate peace. We welcome you, and we're so excited to be here at World Unity Week and also in collaboration with We the World.
Thank you, my sweet sister Aurora, and thank you, Ben, for introducing us. It's just such an honor and a pleasure to be here in this capacity to be of service. As Ben said, my name is Janet Grace, and I'm tuning in from Big Bear Lake, California. I am not only the co-founder of She Rises Travel, but I'm also the founder of Grace's Place Foundation. And in collaboration with We the World and Unity Earth, we are truly honored to be here today. And through our sacred conversation circles, our coaching practices, our transformative travel retreat offerings, Aurora and I are really truly committed to the upliftment of women and to the unifying of women leaders all over the globe to actually create something new together. And as we connect at the heart, something new emerges. And we are so honored to be here with all of you. So thank you, thank you. And just settle in, buckle up, and let's have a wonderful ride together.
As Grace and I continued to tune in and to refine our own calling as leaders across the globe and as women, we started to experience and understand that the women leaders also needed a place and a space to gather, a place where we could just open and grow and heal. And there's been a wave of healing that has been continuing to happen across the planet, not only with Mother Earth and not with every single being, but also with us who are leading the way. And our experience of working with many women across the globe has also shown us in this new wave of healing, the promise and the opportunity is for us to actually activate new capacities that can now be awakened and enlivened to really refine our own calling and to be able to serve in a much wider and greater way. And so today we're dedicating the space for us to explore that. And for the viewers who are actually watching this session and who will look at the recordings, we also invite you to nestle in. And even if you don't show up as a woman leader in the world, we also invite you to play with us through this contemplation and this conversation and just shift the word to change maker or to male leader so that each of us can have a transformative experience and conversation together. So for those who would like to, now would be the time to have a paper and pen available for those who are viewing, because we are going to have an opportunity to do some contemplation. We'll be going into a deeper conversation around the importance of women leaders uniting now with Grace. We'll then be dropping into a sacred space, which for us is kind of the container to create new possibilities together. Whether we're on screen or whether we're watching down the track, we invite you to drop into sacred space with us at that time. We'll be posing 3 potent questions for each of you to contemplate on. And then we'll be inviting our incredible panel of women leaders to be just coming in and sharing their experience to really add the richness and knowing just in the willingness to say yes, that already some newness has started to be created and is being seeded.
Yeah. And, we as leaders at this time and feminine leaders, we need this space to be able to create something new, as Aurora was saying, and to be able to have these conversations where there's this blanket, this safety for us to have authentic dialogue, to really allow that space for our needs and our visions for the future to be really brought to the light so that we can really be in this co-creative space together. Yeah.
And knowing that each of the women, as I'm leaning into seeing your beautiful faces and looking through your eyes, even on this screen, I know what it takes to be showing up here now on the planet. And, that place of continuing to stretch, the place of continuing to serve. And so this place of allowing ourselves just to drop in to be nourished as well. So I'm going to just point to a couple of things for us to bring in our awareness. And one is to name the power of the oracular, the spoken word, the vibration that holds many of the codes that are being reactivated and activated now for us to connect. And when we come together and hear each other and are in that vibration, something new becomes available. The power of deep sacred listening, the invitation for all of us on screen, off screen, all together to really tune into a listening that perhaps we've never even connected into before, listening beyond the words, allowing ourselves to open into the feeling space, allowing vulnerability and intuition to be our guide. So just honoring those 3 things in the willingness of opening into this awareness today.
Yeah. And honoring that place inside of you that knows you were made for a time like this. And as your magnificent power is being called to support and to serve at a higher level, being open to even the availability of asking for what you need. This beautiful sacred muscle that is really being tuned up inside of you at this time because of all that you are being tuned up and asked for at this time.
And as we have been calling in our incredible women leaders, we know each of you have mastered a body of work, a specific contribution, or many initiatives, and probably juggling quite a few balls at once. It's our belief that right now we all have an opportunity to refine again. And I had one of those opportunities earlier this year when I was doing life, and all of a sudden something triggered a feeling that I hadn't really named within myself before. And as I did what I do and went and sat in quiet space, I sat and started to ask myself, what is this feeling? What is this that is bubbling up in my experience? And the word that bubbled up into my consciousness was the word betrayal. And I was like, wow, what's that? And in my willingness to take this experience into a beautiful retreat that I sit in every 2 years with a group of other leaders who have been working with a particular healing modality, the journey work. I know Laurie on the screen is very present with that body of work. I took this experience of betrayal into 4 days of a deep dive. And I was able to uncover a series of generational and perhaps past life experiences where I had brought this through that needed to be seen, needed to be loved, needed to be released, and needed to be let go. And what was so beautiful and empowering, as difficult and challenging it was to feel it all, was that what started to sprout through were these new seeds. A new body of work was birthed, the White Rose initiations. And all of a sudden, my calling of working with women leaders was refined, was fine-tuned, was uplifted. And then the action came. And so this invitation of allowing this wave of healing that is happening, I know holds great promise and great possibility for each of us.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And there'll be time for the women to also share and answer from the questions. As we as leaders are being called and pulled in so many different directions, and to really refine the essentiality of being present first and foremost for yourself, because we know as we are filled to the overflow, we are able to serve in a higher and more beautiful, graceful way. So as we step into this space together and really dive deeper into our heart of hearts, to listen for what it is that we are calling to have healed at this time, to bring it to the light, and to honor that, knowing we are all in this together. There's a sense of comfort that we're not alone. And I think at this moment, all the other groups of women leaders that Aurora and I have been serving and supporting are feeling such a deep need for that right now. So we're so honored to be in this sacred room with all of you. Yeah.
I'm also really feeling impulse to share the importance of each of our unique puzzle pieces and how it's now the time to bring that puzzle piece to the table and to start to connect the puzzle pieces. You know, my understanding is that when a lot of the feminine intelligent knowledge needed to go underground, that we protected the knowledge by holding a specific piece. And so now as we bring our piece together, the tapestry of newness is available. And so we are so excited to continue to hear your voices and your contribution. And Grace, I'm feeling now might be a good time for us just to invite everybody just to perhaps take a deep breath in together. Let's do that together. As we pass over to my incredible co-host, sister and friend, Janet Grace, to invite us into a meditation, and inviting the viewers who are watching on the screen, on the broadcast, to really go there with us as well. Over to you, Grace.
Thank you so much, Aurora. I'm going to invite each one of us to close our eyes, remove the outer distractions, anything that came before this precious present now moment, and feeling the energetic wings of each one of us fluttering, and knowing that we are being called to fly even higher. And as we bow in to our beautiful, sacred, loving hearts, honoring the journey of this lifetime and lifetimes before that brought you to this moment, to this breath, to this beautiful being that is you, that is us, that is we, this unified, collective, glorious being that is radiating a luminous light like never before. And this light that is needed at this time in the evolution of human history. We, women evolving, we are here to lead the way. Just honoring your sacred, loving self, and just taking a deep, beautiful, loving breath together right now. Taking that extra sip at the top, taking that precious breath, filling up your lungs and your heart. And as you exhale, just allowing the energy of that breath to also fill your bloodstream, your tendons, your muscles, your vertebrae, your wings. Just giving them a little extra shot of nourishment at this time. And just recognizing, honoring, and respecting the beautiful feminine leader that you are. Aurora, would you like to join in?
And in the willingness and in this moment of turning inward, we open ourselves to feel, expanding our hearts way, way out in front, way, way out behind, to all sides now. As we call in the women who have led the way before us, our mothers, our grandmothers, and the children and the children's children, allowing them all to be nourished by the power and the presence of our love. And in this inner contemplative space, we ask you with eyes closed to start to feel, what is it that you are up against as a feminine leader at this time? And what is it that you bring to this circle to heal? Allowing yourself to sense, feel, or see, what are you up against as a feminine leader, and what is it that you bring to heal? Just allowing that to be seen and felt. What nourishment do you need or want that will absolutely support you and your calling now? It may not be what you expect. What is the nourishment that you need or want to support you in your calling now? Beautiful. And what are you being called to devote your energy to create your vision for a future that works for all? Allowing yourself to continue to receive. Taking a moment to take another beautiful deep breath in, inviting our viewers to also do the same, perhaps the longest, deepest breath you've taken all day. And a deep breath out. Continuing to open and expand with eyes closed or open, same. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, coming back into the room. What a beautiful moment to share with you in sacred space. Knowing that with each breath and with each heart, we continue to expand this space. We are now going to invite some of our incredible women who heard our call to be with us tonight, this morning, wherever you are across the world. There are many, and we have representation for many countries and many time zones. So we're just going to ask each of the women as their impulse just to come forward and to share. The first question that we're going to be speaking into is, what are you up against as a feminine or a female leader, and what is it that you bring to heal? Or even what has bubbled up even in the hearing of that question. So just opening the space now, you just pop your hand up when you're ready, and you'll be called in to share.
When I think of that question, I think about the gendered roles we all play in this world, and how embracing who I truly am as a feminist. And that role to me is to care for this world in the best I can, and to accept that instead of considering it a barrier to the work that I do. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Dr. Peggy.
And Marion?
Thanks, Aurora. I guess the biggest thing that I can see, especially with feminine leaders around the world, is the drive to balance between the masculine and the female and the feminine side of us, where as leaders we're sometimes pushed to be in the masculine, and how do we balance that and let it be the flow of how we then move into the world. And I think that with so much happening in the world around what is a woman and even what is a man, there's this total wiping away of who we are as humans. Now, I'm more impulsed to working in the area of consciousness and helping awaken the creator coding. But I think what's really important is the balance, being able to create that beautiful balance between allowing yourself to have time out if you feel that you need it, without the masculine coming and going, you need to pull up your socks and get out of there again. So anyway, that's what I'd like to share around that. Thanks.
Beautiful, really honouring the softness and the inner qualities in addition to the go and let's make this happen. Thank you, beautiful Marion. Who else? We've got Thato raising her hand.
Thank you. I was just going to speak on, the healing and the acknowledgement of the divine union, how important it is for the feminine to be healed and for us to acknowledge the masculine and to understand and know that all these energies work together. And being on this call and this today, leading up to the work that I do, I cried, and it was a beautiful moment, to connect with wonderful women as yourself, and to be here and to feel seen as a woman doing this work, conscious work, and calling the consciousness of unity and togetherness. Thank you.
You were so seen and so loved, Thato. Thank you so much. Who else? We have Sherry's raised her hand.
Yeah, thank you so much. That kind of evolutionary edge that I'm feeling, there's like two parts. One is really what I've just heard, as well as this balancing of, as I'm stepping into more and more of my higher capacities, or what I call the mysterious woman meta capacities. These are like really where we've harmonized the inner and the outer masculine and feminine. So we are harmonizing these energies in which we bring them out into the world. And I am finding it challenging sometimes to find places in which to fully express myself in. As I evolve and I grow, it's like I need an ecosystem in which I can fully show up. And that is an edge that I'm experiencing in certain spaces. And what happens to me when I come into a place and then I'm bringing my gifts and it's not quite in alignment in a certain way, or there's different energies, is that I then feel I put myself down. And I think, oh, something's wrong with me, instead of, and so I have the fear of I don't belong. And that old ancient wound of women not belonging in like our full glory on the earth, like kind of comes in. So I've been really grateful for the healing that I am calling in around that, and the opportunities when those moments come up to really be finding the places where I can fully show up and know that I absolutely belong.
Beautiful, Sherry. Thank you so much for your authenticity and your openness and your transparency. And, I'm sure that many of the women here on this screen can completely relate. So let's take an opportunity to all just breathe in the essence of belonging right now together. Noticing just in the willingness to receive that and acknowledge it, what happens in your field. Thank you, dear sister. A. Marie has her hand raised. Can we go to A. Marie?
Yes, in the spirit of softening, I wanted to share that I'm experiencing with women that there are these suppressed, unexpressed expressions that are finding their way to the surface now to make room for the abundance that is coming in. And so to allow that and not to see it as a step back, that there are these experiences that we've had that have not had their full expression, maybe in our supporting others and maybe not giving us the space that we need to support ourselves, that now there's this uprising across the globe that is allowing these feelings, these unexpressed feelings, to be ushered up. And we simply just need to allow it to come forth because it's making room for the abundance and the clarity that's needed for these next steps that we're stepping into. And so I just want to, in the spirit of softening, that we will be open to allowing those things to come up and not necessarily needing to have clarity or these deep dives. Just allow those feelings to come up and be released and allow that to create the space for the more to come forth. That we would allow those things to pass that we are not even aware of. In spirit and truth, that's my heart prayer, as I am experiencing this myself.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. And, in this precious moment, I just want us to all take a deep, beautiful breath on allowing, just allowing whatever it is that's bubbling up for you to make space, to allow, to receive. So let's take a deep, beautiful breath on that together. Just feeling the space that you've just gifted yourself with. This beautiful opportunity to allow even more or greater abundance. Thank you.
The palpable experience of softness. It's so rich. We'd love to hear from Heidi.
I feel that as I move from this place of wholeness out into the world to do the work with We Are Arising, I am engaging with Babylonian masculine systems that have been put into place. And the reminder of the softness is helping a great deal right now. And also, I just have these challenges of the frustration of the system that was set up before my birth. And it's happening through all of this as we move through. And we are arising like light and love through metal or through unforeseen circumstances and all of the things that come with the healing that happens through that. So those are my challenges right now. Recognizing, realizing, allowing to speak the truth of what we're really living in and what we are really doing here. And appreciating the continuous support from everything that is in alignment with that mission. It's huge and vast and filling and beautiful and supportive. And to remember to stay conscious with the heart and the breath as we move through the obstacles and gracefully flow through those doorways that are wide open. And the ones that are closed, and that's okay too. And just being all right with the dance of what this arising really is. Thank you for letting me speak it out into the group. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heidi. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much. We'd just like to go to Dr. Marty Casey as well for the last share of this question. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for having me today. I'm glad that I was almost made last for this because it gave me an opportunity to really listen. And in listening, I want to share what I heard. What I hear is that we as the collective, we are honoring who we are as women and honoring that softness. But I want to add a little bit more to this recipe, if you will. When I think of softness, I don't necessarily think about it in tone. I don't necessarily even think about it in femininity of how we show up. But a lot of times when I hear the word softness, I think of it almost in order, meaning that do we fall back so that others can move forward? Do we decline to speak up because it's not necessarily the proper thing to do in that moment? So softness for me sometimes means that I'm altering who I naturally believe that I am and how I lead as a leader. And so I want to say this in the work and the spirit of what I do, dealing with violence, and underneath violence is trauma. Underneath trauma is healing, and underneath healing is peace, which I believe that's what we are all in the collective aiming for, to experience peace on earth. And so just starting at the top of what I deal with, honoring my softness doesn't get me heard. If I can just be honest, it doesn't, because I am in a space of very masculine energy. And so for me, I have to fill back up in rooms like this with women who can help me find that grounding and that centering. This is where that matters for me. But in other spaces, you may not see me honoring in that way. And I wanted to just point that out because I really want to make sure that we don't fall into judging or labeling others because we see it morph and come forth in a stronger tone. Sometimes it's because of what it is that we are actually speaking about, and as leaders, what we're leading through. And so I just wanted to just put that out there really early, and to say that I appreciate a room like this, because this is where I feel like I can honor my softness. And this is what is needed for someone who leads in the area that I lead in. And I thank each of you for that.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Casey. It's such an important refinement, because when we're out serving in whatever way we serve, we have to reach our community in a place where we can be heard and where we can hold presence. So our beautiful masculine qualities are also that live within us are also front and center. And the ability to come into a room like this to be nourished, and then to go out back in the world with all that we have in our wholeness, because one or the other isn't the picture. And so we invite you to continue to open and nourish in this space, dear sister, and to be able to, take that resource with you as you step into the world in whatever way needs to be shown up to respond. And there's absolutely no judgment here.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, beautiful women. We're going to go, Grace, to the next question, I think, unless there's something you'd like to share. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go into the next question, and just keeping our hearts wide open for so many things that everyone has already spoken about. And this second question is, what nourishment do you need or want that will support you and your calling now? And it's such a profound question to really contemplate in this moment. And we'll give you a couple of moments to really refine what it is that, what nourishment you really need, what your soul really needs at this time. Yeah, and if you, as you are feeling into that, and you want to put your voice into the space.
Looks like Maureen has her hand up, and we'd love to hear from you, Maureen. Welcome, sweetheart.
Well, thank you so much. And as you said, Aurora, the answers might surprise us. It might be different than what we thought. And it's very true for me, because the deeper answer that I have to this question is self-care. What do I need to feel nourished? It's not from out there. It's for my own balance. And especially having a recent heart attack 3 weeks ago in Ibiza at the Hula Movement, I also got the experience of being so receptive and so allowing of all of the love, all of the healing prayers that were exponential. So what an experience that was. What a gift my heart attack has been, to really see how this has been building up for a long time. The first blockage was 100%, and they did emergency surgery, put a couple of stents in. Second one, 70%. And because of all the prayers, all the love, and my innate ability to receive, my readiness in that unconscious level of receptivity, isn't that a blessing to know how receptive I was? Because 4 days later, there was no blockage left. And so there was nothing more to do. So here I sit in, full health, full strength. It's taken a little while, to just get more steady on my pins and have the confidence. But the wake-up call was so important for me to really take my own self-care and really nourish my own self and have the balance that is essential for all of us, especially as women. And I think that is a big challenge that many women do have. I don't think that, I think that there will be many nodding heads around our table here today. So I just really want to thank you for the opportunity to share how important self-care is, because we could be like the lobsters in the warm pot of hot water, getting warmed up, and all of a sudden we're cooked. And that's what happened to me. So I'm grateful for the experience of a heart attack, and then all the love and all of full receptivity of all the healing prayers from all around the planet. Like, oh, what a blessing. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you, beautiful Maureen, and thank you for being with us. Welcome, Nova.
Hi, ladies. I kind of want to go off a little bit off of the last one, that I want to be able to speak my truth to other women that are very dominating, and that usually will run you over, and not be afraid of that. It happens at times. And so even with my co-host, I love her to death. But sometimes she'll interrupt and will create chaos. And so I just want to be, even talking about it, my heart's like, oh, it's pounding, a little bit, because it's hard, because this is a sister that I adore. And so I just want to get off my chest. But as far as what nourishment goes and support, I'm going to be honest that I want more femininity in my life, all the time. I want to feel it. I want, to be seen as a woman, whatever that might be, because I do have masculine and feminine energy. But I want to have, because I'm often called mother, even though I'm not a mother. And that would make me feel uncomfortable at times, because, having to, deal with, that I am a leader, and that I have a following of people that, do see me as that role. And so accepting that, and, know that I am being supported with that. But my soul wants to be heard for my truth and my voice, not what I look like, not what I project into the world. I want to be seen that I am just you. I'm your reflection in so many ways. And that I feel like this is something that I want to be supported by the males in my life, 100%. I want more of that nourishing, where they can say that, thank you, I appreciate you, for being feminine, for, putting that out there, because and I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. I want that now, because it didn't work the other way, where I was, angry or frustrated or whatever. And it's not about being soft, like Marty said. It's about standing in my power and knowing that my truth is going to be heard, and I am seen, and I'm accepting that part of myself. So thank you for letting me share it with everybody. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Sweet Nova. Powerful, powerful. And I know that all of us can relate to what you're sharing, and, standing in your power and being able to speak your truth and be heard. Beautiful. And it's so essential at this time. So thank you for bringing that to the field and speaking it out loud. Yeah. Thank you.
And we're calling in Kaliana. Welcome, dear sister. We can't hear you. Are you on mute? Yeah.
Yes, thank you for the chance to speak. I want to speak on behalf of older women. I'll be 74 in August, and I've been facilitating groups for over 35 years for women, supporting women, because women, we've been in our passive lunar energy, and we need to own our solar. And the solar is to speak the truth. So my work is supporting women to open up their throat chakras, which is expressing as thyroid imbalances, to clear the ancient contracts where we as women in patriarchy went underground. And so it's about speaking the truth now. The nourishment I need as an older woman is that, and I see it not just for myself, but I see it for young women who don't feel totally supported in their role as mothers. I'm a grandmother, I have 4 children and a stepdaughter, and how to find the energy at this stage, because I know that I need to leave legacies. And I have got bodies of work that I've gathered over 35 years of Magdalene codes and endocrine and sacred union codes. And I agree with what's been said about, for me personally, that importance of the balance of our male-female energy. And what I see is that, and I want to own that I am supported fully by my husband of 35, 36 years, to that we need our own masculine inside of us to stand behind us, guard our backs and protect us so that we can just open up and share again. Because for me, it's about nourishment. And so for me, my challenge is, how do I nourish this phase of my life, which a part of me just wants to retire? And Aurora will attest to that because we've been running White Rose initiation gatherings. And so I feel nourished when I teach, but it's to have the energy to put it out there. So I suppose the support I need is to have some people come into my life that just said, I love your work and I'll help you get it out there, because I don't always have that energy as an older woman. And so I think I want to encourage all older women who have amazing bodies of work, who may be feeling a little bit tired, to allow ourselves to be nourished and supported to leave our legacies. Because we've gathered wisdom over all the decades we've lived. And every women's group I've supported, every sacred union group I've supported with my husband, is to support that balance so that we can go out honoring the masculine and feminine, equally empowered, but also honoring that the feminine brings back the nurture. And so how do we nurture ourselves in order to do our work? So thank you so much for giving me the chance to speak. I really am honored to be in such an amazing group. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear Kaliana. We'd just love to call out Reverend Deborah Mulgo to join us as well, to share before we move to the next question. Welcome. It's an honour to have you with us.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for putting together this group of powerful women to go deeply into our hearts. And I wanted not exactly to answer the question, which is, what do we need to nourish us? But I wanted to bring into the conversation what does nourish me, because I am feeling the power of the divine feminine that is arising through all of us on this call, the women leaders and the men leaders who are feeling it as well. And how fortunate we are to be doing our work and serving the highest good in this time when we are supported by the rise of the feminine voice, that it is valued as bringing balance to the imbalances that have been created by an overly masculine dominated culture for so long. So blessings to all of you and the work that you're doing to be part of this. And let us all just appreciate this very sacred moment in the history of humanity, when this feminine energy is coming up like a giant wave to support us and to support our beautiful Mother Earth as we all transition toward a time of light and love on this planet. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Such a beautiful message for all of us to embody right now, so that we can remember in this time of renewal. And your words are so eloquent and so well received. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And as we acknowledge the divine feminine in our words, in our hearts, in this connection, you know, as we ask the question, what is it we bring to heal? Well, what is it we're bringing to become even more whole, which we already are? Where is this wholeness? What do we bring to wholeness? All of these aspects of ourselves coming into union so that we can rise from a new place. As we turn to our final question for sharing, we start to focus now into some vision. And what is it that we're being inspired to devote our energy to create our vision for the future? What is it? What is this vision for the future? But what is it that you're being inspired to devote your energy to right now? So just inviting some shares for that space. And we did have Laurie's hand up. I don't know whether, Laurie, you're still feeling to pop in and share whatever is here on your heart.
Yeah, the discussion had changed, so I'd put my hand down. So I'll let the discussion flow the way it is.
Beautiful. So who would like to tune into, thank you, Laurie, who would like to tune into the vision, or what is it that you're feeling inspired to bring your energy to now? We've got Connie's hand up. Could we call Connie through? That would be beautiful.
Hi,
Sister.
I'm Connie Baxter Marlowe, and I'm a filmmaker and an author. And I was called many years ago as a teenager to explore and find the missing pieces of our paradigm, because our paradigm never worked for me. And that must have been what my soul came in to ask, because the answers you get depend on the questions you ask. And what I looked in Europe, I found the same thinking, and visionary native elders came into my life in the 90s and showed me these missing pieces. And I saw through them a connection to a bigger reality, to the oneness and sacredness of all life. And I committed myself at that time to create forums for these visionary elders and others who have connected to that bigger reality. And science then has been proving what these indigenous peoples have known and been carrying for us. The leading edge science is now showing us it's a holographic fractal universe. And but science can't prove the heart and the spirit. And so that's my work, is to bring forth that indigenous knowing and that science that allows the Western mind to connect with the heart and go forward and align with that and walk in alignment with our hearts into a higher frequency. So the physics of it all, the vibration of it all, is foundational as far as I'm concerned. And our films and our books and other work brings forth this indigenous cosmology, quantum science synthesis that allows us to walk in absolute trust of a conscious, loving universe. Thank you. I'm just thrilled to be here with our family. Wonderful. Thank you.
A pleasure and a privilege as we all continue to breathe blessings on your continued mission and vision and projects and inspiration, dear sister. Thank you so much. We have time for only one more share, and we'll just be calling in Dr. Joni Carley, and we might have time to pop in one more voice, as we'd love to hear all of you. But Dr. Joni, welcome.
Thank you. My vision is to create, I'm glad that I came after Connie and she opened up the idea of new paradigm, because I no longer want to work on fixing the old paradigm. I don't want to work on fix-it projects. There are many great and wonderful projects, and bless them. But my work is to usher in a new paradigm based on all beings going to sleep safe, fed, and warm, based on values, based on love, based on the things people actually value, connectivity. And those things tend to be more yin. I like to think of it not so much as feminine and masculine, because that creates this bifurcation, and it especially in an age when gender is so fluid, it's not even so relevant anymore to speak that way. There's always that little bit of yin in the yang part and a little bit of yang in the yin part, and that's more real. So for me, I like to think of this metaphysical area that we're opening up to speak of consciousness, of values, of those kinds of things, of culture, of spirit. Right? It's just bringing in the love of spirit to the conversation. This is a way of yinning out. We've been in a paradigm that has been so yang dominant, and we have to stop blaming the men for it and saying the women are the saviors. That's just the opposite, same problem on its head. And so to really stretch out in a bigger way of thinking, and to say, yeah, we got to yin out. When in doubt, yin out. You know, because right now we've got so yang dominant. I've always said we have yangitis, and we've got this fluffy myth that everything that is about the values, the unseen, the intangibles is inconsequential, fluffy stuff. And there's absolutely no data that backs that up anywhere. Yet we're all acculturated in that myth. And so my work is really about bringing forward with a lot of Jude's work with the unitive narrative, and with this new way of thinking that we are all one. We are one family. That's what this World Unity Week is all about, coming together as one family. How do we resituate the fulcrum of our very centeredness on that understanding? That's the paradigmatic change. It's a change of consciousness. And so really opening up that domain as a bona fide domain of work. That's what I do at the UM. That's what I do in a lot of the projects that I work on, to really just say, hey, these areas are valuable domains of work, and we will stand our ground here and lovingly invite all into this circle.
So beautifully said. Yes. Inclusion, bringing the inclusion and the energy of oneness. So beautiful. So yes, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And yes, Joni, knowing that these aspects are not only awakening up in the women, they're awakening in the men. You know, there's so many times where my sacred masculine within me, or the aspect of my yang, if we want to call it that, he in me backs me. You know, he in me is the one that steps forward when I'm in crisis first. And then the softness follows. So this beautiful balance of wholeness. You know, sometimes words aren't enough to articulate, because we are all of it. And so this rising of the yinness in unity with the yangness feels like the way forward. So beautiful women who have been here sharing your voices, we are moving towards the close of our transmission. And Grace and I would like to just spend a few moments to let you know how you can stay connected. So I'll share the first way, which will be, we'll have a continuation of these series of conversations, Together We Rise, that we will be kicking off across the 11 days of unity with We the World on September 17. So anyone who is interested in staying connected into this ongoing conversation, please just share your name and your email at sherisestravel.com. Sherisestravel.com is an organisation, one of the initiatives that Grace and I have created. So you can share your names and voices there, and we'll make sure that you are invited to an ongoing series, which will then be a monthly offering after the 17th of September. So please stay connected. And Grace, how else can we stay connected?
Well, I just want to take a moment to really deeply honor all of the voices that came in today, and really in a spirit of deep heart opening listening. It really is a collective desire for us to be together in all the different ways that we can. And that's really why She Rises Travel was birthed the beginning of this year, even though we'd taken groups before to Egypt last year. And this year we'll be taking a group to Bali in August for the 888 celebration, the Lion's Gate portal that will open up. And many of us have been talking about the throat chakra, and it's the energy of water is through the throat chakra. And actually Egypt is the throat chakra energy center of the globe. So we have both of those going on. So it's always such a beautiful synchronicity to listen when we're in a group, to see the collective consciousness and the beautiful deep desires that we all have to stay connected. So Bali in 888, again, just an incredible way to honor and celebrate Mother Earth at this beautiful feminine portal of the planet.
Yeah, and Bali is the purification portal of the planet. It feels like another layer of purification is happening for each of us, and the opportunity to come together in person on sacred lands across the globe to not only support as midwives Mother Earth's birthing of the new, but also to support each other and to really have an opportunity to play in that way. So I'm really feeling the joy of being in such good company and the aliveness of what happens when we are prepared to bring the whole of ourselves together. May each of your projects and initiatives and contributions be deeply blessed. May they have wings to grow and expand with resources beyond your wildest imagination. We thank you when we thank all of the women leaders who have gathered today to share their hearts. We invite you to stay connected in a deeper conversation. Our Together We Rise series will not only give you an opportunity to share in this way, but we will have time to go into breakout rooms and to meet with another sister and to go deep into your responses so you're deeply felt and seen, and to then come to weave in a group what the weavings that come through personal time for contemplation. So there's time to connect with yourself, with other women leaders, but then also as a group, so we can refine the personal and the collective wisdom that's coming through. So from my heart to yours, we send our deepest blessings and thanks. Deep gratitude to Unity Earth and World Unity Week. Deep gratitude to We the World and the team that sits behind them. We bless this ongoing series across World Unity Week and everybody that's here. And Grace, over to you if you have any closing comments, my darling.
Yeah, I just, I feel this, so many different words and feelings have been brought into this sacred space today, and the desire for balance, the desire for connection, the desire for loving support, and to speak our truth and feel heard and felt. I just want to honor everyone in this beautiful space. And thank you, Ben, for holding this space. And thank you for all that you are doing in this beautiful World Unity Week. And how honored and grateful we are to be a part of it. So thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Aurora and Grace and everybody. That was just so, so beautiful. We want more. We wanted to hear more sharing and more just the beautiful wisdom that was coming through. Absolutely. Love that. Thank you for bringing that to World Unity Week this year. I want to acknowledge Irina Morrison too, who worked so hard. This program came together pretty late. And Ayana and Derek have pulled it all together in the background. And of course, Hubcast, who have done an amazing job. What an incredible teamwork. But just such beautiful sharing, beautiful content. And I feel everyone's just feeling that yin glow, which is just so lovely and is universal. So I really want to appreciate all of the sharings and the brilliant women leaders who gathered here today. Thank you. And while I'm not fully qualified to have the final word, I do have someone who is. So if we could perhaps bring them up, my beautiful mother. So just to sort of close us out here, Mum, together we rise. I love your background, love. And what a beautiful sharing. I know you've been there soaking all this up. So Mum, final word is yours.
Well, it's such a gift and a pleasure to be in the presence of such beautiful sisters, and what joy and hope the world has in order to continue doing what we all have to do, and that makes it to make it a better world. I think just so many beautiful messages, but Ben, I think for me as a midwife, my only comment, and no, Mother, but my comment mostly to all of you, you are doing midwifery, you are doing midwife's work in whatever job you're doing, or in whatever way you are lifting up the world. And just on the beauty for me, as a young midwife, just been so specially rewarded and privileged to help women in their most basic needs, delivering children into the world. It's been such an honor for me, and I've never forgotten it, and I will never forget it. And I just honor women for their ability, regardless whether they have children or not, in the way they help lift the world up to a better place. So keep going, ladies. Very good. Thank you, Ben.
What a beautiful encouragement. And I just wanted to add to your incredible and supportive share that it is our truth that right now that each of us are also helping Mother Earth midwife her new. And so in every conversation, in every opportunity that we get together, when we come together in the flesh, we are absolutely supporting Mother Earth to restore and also supporting her to midwife the new. So thank you for bringing that through. It's been a very strong message for many of us. So yes.
And Aurora, age is not a barrier.
Absolutely.
Do you want to share, Mum? Do you want to share your magic number? No. Okay.
I'm the eldest of this group. I can share that bit. But I'm very happy.
Well, we love you and we honor you.
Thank you.
Well, and I just felt Barbara Marks Hubbard jumping in. And she, when we were blessed to be under the Ambassador Academy, and that's how Aurora and I met about 6 years ago. And she would say she was 89 and a half years new. She said she got newer every single day. And I feel that honor and blessing. And I embody that myself, as this is going to be my 65th year on this planet. So I'm just honored and grateful. And thank you so much for all that you are bringing in your energy and your beautiful, beautiful smile and your beautiful wisdom. So thank you.
And blessings to the gorgeous viewers who have been listening and leaning in today, sending blessings your way as well. And we look forward to staying connected to you. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Grace.
Mm-hmm.